Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So a couple years ago, I did 2 videos about Google Sheets and about how to track your cost of goods, your shipping, your expenses, and how to see how much money you were making at the end of all that. Some things have changed in those last couple years, and I do things just a little bit differently. I've tweaked a few things, and I've found that if I add up all my cost of goods and I add a certain percentage on top of that, I'm always reinvesting more back into my business so it helps it grow. I want to show you guys how to do that. So we're going to start with a blank sheet on Google Sheets, and I'm going to show you how to input all that data and how to track and grow your business. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So you're just going to go to Google Sheets, and then under here, when you open up this screen, there's going to be a little plus symbol. That's create new spreadsheet, and that's what we're going to do. We're create a blank spreadsheet. Up here, you can title it however you like. I do a monthly spreadsheet, so January, February, March for the year. You might want to do weekly. You might want to do just one for the year. It just kind of depends on your sales, because if you get too far down, you might be scrolling down, trying to scroll back up, trying to look at different numbers. Like I said, I do monthly, so we're just going to do January 2021, and I'm just going to say that this is for my eBay store. You can do Posh or whatever you like. Okay, so let's start over here in the A column. We're going to scroll this thing all the way over because we want to give ourselves some space to the titles of what we're doing. Right now, we're going to do really simple titles like t-shirt, jeans, jacket, but you might be like, it's a 2019 Topps baseball card, rookie, yada, yada, yada. And it just kind of helps you keep track of what you're selling. Because if you just put in shirt, you won't know what shirt you sold. If you put in, I sold a Kate Spade black crop top shirt, then you'll be able to know what it is and when it was sold, if in case you ever need to go back and look at it. And then we're just going to kind of space these out just a little bit more, because I'm going to type in the full name of what we're doing with these. When you do it, you can abbreviate it however you like. But I want to just kind of make this a little easier. So this is going to be cost of goods. C column is going to be sold price. We're going to do fees in D column. We're going to do shipping in E column. F is going to be our total profit. And G is going to be our return on investment. Okay, so now that we have all that plugged in, let's go ahead and bring these down just a little bit. What we need to do is we need to convert the ones that are going to be currency into a currency format. What do I mean by that? Here, I'll show you. So if I type in like $1, it's just going to say 1. Or if I, let's say, do $1.25, it's just going to say 1.25. I like for them to look like this, currency. Okay, so basically that's the button that does it. But instead of having to do it for every single column one by one every time you do it, what you're going to do is you're going to convert the column into currency. Okay, and then you're going to take this and you're going to drag this all the way down. Okay, go as far down as you like. If you figure you're going to have like 100 sales this month, go to 100. If you think, you're going to do 200, do 200. It doesn't matter how far down you drag it. You can drag it as far as you like. Then what you do is when you put in 1, see, it's going to convert it to currency instead of having to do them all one by one. We're going to do that with all the columns except for the return on investment. That's going to be a little different. So same thing here, currency. Take your little bar, drag it all the way down. I'm just going to go down to just random areas right here. You might want to take some time to actually, like I said, do this based on how many sales you think you're going to have. Also, what you can do is you can make a blank one of these, and then every time you want to make a new one, just click make a copy, and then you don't have to do this every time. So if you're going to do this monthly or weekly instead of like throughout the whole year, just go ahead and just do it once, and then just make a copy. And just when you make that copy, you'll type in, March 2021, April 2021. It'll make it a lot easier instead of having to format a new one of these every single time. And I'll show you that one more time at the end of the video. Same thing, total profit. We're just going to bring the currency, convert it, and bring it all the way down. So now we're just going to test it, make sure all these like converted right. Yep, they're all converted into currency now. Okay, now let's go ahead and put in our calculations. So under fees, I'm going to do an average for eBay. What I'm doing is 13% plus 30 cents. That's what it used to be. I know it's changed a little bit. If you want to know your exact fees, you'll probably have to go in and look at them to see what exactly you were charged, or you could just skip the fee area in general. If it gives, I know eBay's giving just an exact amount after their fees, so you can just zero here, just put total profit or put total sold price there, however you want to do it. I'm going to do this just because it helps me kind of calculate it out. At the end of the day, when you're doing your taxes and stuff like that, there's numbers you can just pull from this, which you should contact a certified tax professional, a CPA, on how to do it. But this will help you at least track what your cost of goods are and kind of what your selling prices are and stuff like that. This sheet is more designed to track your cost of goods and to kind of give yourself an idea of how much you're investing into yourself and how your business is growing and what your kind of profit margins are. There's a few cents and dollars that might be off a little bit here and there because there might be like books are like 12% fees and there's another category that's only 8% fees. If you want that exact number, you're going to have to input it yourself. I just do an average because I'm just using this for informational purposes. When I do my taxes, I actually get the CPA to come in and he actually takes all the numbers from our invoices. So here we go. Under fees, we're going to go equals C2, which is going to be the sold price. You can see it highlighted right there. It's going to be times, which is going to be a little asterisk right there, 0.13. We're going to end that right there. So the fee is going to show up as 0. Now, when you do process a transaction, you might want to add plus 0.30, which is 30 cents for the processing fee. I know most fee processors have that added it. It's up to you whether or not you want to add it. You can add it as you go. You can add it at the end. You can just keep it there. The problem is that what we're going to do is we're going to bring this all the way down, and then you're going to get a bunch of 30-cent fees that you might not actually be paying. So I wouldn't do that right away. Okay. I would add this later as you kind of go along, or at the end of the month, if let's say you have 300 transactions, just take 300 and multiply it by 30 cents and just add it to your total cost and fees, which way I can show you how to do later. So what we want to do is we want to bring this to all the columns below us. So we're just going to take this just like we did with the currency converting, and we're going to bring this down. And that's going to bring that same calculation down, but it's going to bring it down for the actual row that it's in. We're going to do the same thing with total profit. We're going to make a calculation here. So we're going to say equals C2, which is going to be our sold price, minus, and then we're going to minus the cost of goods, the fees, and the shipping. Okay. So the cost of goods is B2 minus B2. And you'll see these things highlight as I'm inputting them in, minus B2. Right now it's going to show up 0 because we don't have anything inputted. Same thing as we did before with currency converting. We're going to bring it all the way down. It's going to give us that calculation all the way down. Then we're going to do the return on investment. Okay, this is going to be a percentage. So we're going to go equals, and then we're going to cap this off, C2 sold price minus B2 minus B2, B2, cap it off, and then we're going to divide it by our cost of goods, which is B2. It's going to give us an error right now because we don't have any numbers inputted. So that's okay that it says that. I'll show you what it says here in just a moment. So we're going to take this, same as before, bring it all the way down. Now, let's go ahead and get some calculations going. So we're going to say item, t-shirt, jeans, cards. And let's just, let's do one more. Let's do a jacket. And let's do 5 total shoes. Okay. So we're going to say the t-shirt cost us $1. The jeans cost us 5. The cards cost us 10. The jacket cost us 15. And the shoes cost us 20. Oh, one thing we kind of forgot to do here is we need to convert this into a percentage. So you want to format as percent. The reason why is because you want to see what your return on investment percentage wise is. So obviously we're losing every single dollar we made right now is what it's telling us. But now we're going to put in sold price. So we're going to say 20, and you'll see it automatically calculate the fee right here. And then it's going to tell you that by spending $1, although we haven't input in the shipping yet, let's just put the shipping in. Let's just say $5.90. That and making $10.50, we basically made 1,050% return on investment because we spent $1 and we made $10.50. That's an amazing return on investment. Okay, as your business grows, this number will go down, and obviously, making $10 on $1 purchase is nice. You want to do that though at least 10 times a day because you want to be making $100 a day, probably minimum. So as you grow, this return on investment might go down. You might only be making $5 a t-shirt, but if you're selling, 300 a day, you're making more profit overall. So let's go ahead and finish filling this out. 25, and I'm just going to put some random numbers in here, so just so you guys can get an idea of what we're doing. Let's see, 25, and let's see. So you can see the different percentages on the return on investment based upon how much we spent for the item versus how much it sold for. And we're just going to put some random shipping numbers in here as well. And I'm showing you some negative amounts just to give you an idea. So right here, if we bought a pair of shoes for $20 and it sold for $36, after fees and shipping, we lost money. This will let you know, hey, yeah, those shoes might have sold right away, but either you marked them too low, or they're just not a good investment. Whereas if you can find more of these t-shirts for $1, and you can be selling them for $10, $10 in profit, $20 sold price, that's going to be a better markup. Same thing here. It's you got $37 in total profit after fees for these cards for what they sold for. How easy is it to find this item versus how easy is it to find this item? How many of these will you sell versus how many of these will you sell? So this is really good for tracking that. If you're going down your list and you're looking at it at the end of the month and you see that you've sold 100 t-shirts, but you've only sold 2 sets of cards, it's okay, yeah, I might have more total profit in it, but I'm making more money here. So that's where I need to focus my business. It's just some information for you to kind of have along the way. Now let's go ahead and get into totals, which we're going to go ahead and scroll this thing over, and I'm going to show you how to total everything up, and we're going to get that cost of goods totaled, and then I'm going to show you how to add a percentage on top of that so you can reinvest into your business. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll on over here, and right where I is at, we're going to type in total cost of goods. Bring that over. And then up here is going to be our total shipping. And then total fees. It's basically the same columns that we're doing over there, but this is going to be the entire total from start to finish. So that way, as you're inputting this, you can get an idea of what you're doing per month, per week, per year. It gives you a better understanding of your own business. We're going to do the sold price. So actually, this is the total sold price, not just the sold price. And then next to it, we are going to do our total profit. Next to that, we're going to do our total ROI, or return on investment, which is basically this last column right here that we were talking about. So these are all pretty much the same minus the return on investment. You're just going to take the sum of the entire columns that you've been working with. So I'll show you how you do that. So basically it's equals the word sum, and then you're taking the entire B column. So you're going B through B, enter. You're going to format that to currency. So you're going to take this, That's $51, which means right over here, the cost of goods is $51. That's what we spent on everything. We're going to do the same thing all the way across except for return on investment. That's just be a little bit different, and I'll show you how to do it. So the total shipping right here we see is in the E column right here. So it's going to be equals sum. It's in the E column. So the sum of E. We're going to convert that to currency. We're going to go to fees equals sum. Fees is in the D side. Convert to currency. Our total sold price. If I do that equals, don't forget that. Total sold price is going to be our C column. And then our total profit. And profit is in the F column. So what we can see is though we sold $186 worth of goods, like our solds, our profit after costs, shipping, fees is $71.22. So you have to take into account how much time did it take you to do all this stuff? This is what you made profit. Okay. And that's not even accounting for taxes and like other business expenses. This is just straight, what your shipping costs, your fees, and your total goods were. So this number obviously isn't 100% accurate because you want to also factor in the facts of paying taxes to your government. And you want to factor into things like you might have a laptop that breaks, you might need more printer paper, you might want to that month buy a label printer, things like that. So obviously that number will be a little bit different if you're spending a little more. Now let's see what our total return on investment is. So we're going to do that calculation. So that's basically the same that we did over here with the return on investment, except for we're using these columns. So our ROI is going to be equaled to, and then we want to take basically our total sold price. So we're going to have to cap this off. Why did I do that? Okay, we're going to have to cap this off. So we're going to be total sold price, which is L3 minus, then we can just go right across. I3, which is that 51 right there, minus A3 minus E3. And then we're going to sum that up. So basically we're going to cap it off, and then we're going to divide it by what our cost of goods are, which is I3. Whoops. I3. Hit enter, and then it's going to spit out this number. What you want to do is you want to convert this into a percentage like we did before. And that basically means we made 139% return on investment. So we spent 51, we profited 71 after everything. So we made 139.65% return on investment. It's great. Anyone would do that, except for you just want to see how much time you're spending to do that. And you want these numbers to be drastically more inflated. So this just gives you an idea of how to sum that all up. Now, let's talk investment. So your investment is basically, what I like to do is I always take the cost of goods and I always put that back into the business, 100% of cost of goods. But you don't want to just only be putting the money you initially put into your business back in over and over again to buy goods. You want to put a little bit more back in because you want it to grow. Okay. If you're only putting the $1,000 that you spent back in every single month, either you're going to grow really slow or you're not going to grow at all. Or you might even actually decline on growth. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in a column here, and that's, I like to say, investment left to spend. Whoops. And this is good too because it keeps you accountable if you're growing your business, not overspend either, to make sure that you're paying yourself something. Unless you have a job that supports you, or you have somebody else in your family structure that's supporting your spending. like your rent, your gas, your groceries, and things like that. You might just be investing 100% of everything you make back into it, which is fine. If you can do that, by all means do that. But some people obviously have to take profit out. They have to pay themselves so they can live. And this keeps you accountable for saying like, okay, $51 of the business has to go. When I get that deposit from eBay every day or every week, however you do it, $51 has to go back into the business. It has to. Everything else I can take out because it's my profit, but I need to put that money back in, because if not, I'm taking inventory away and I'm never adding stuff to it. So under investment left to spend, we're going to say equals I3, which is our cost of goods, plus, and I'm going to show you what we do over here with S3. We're going to say S3, but we haven't inputted it yet, so don't worry. It's coming. Okay. Equals, or I'm sorry, minus the sum. This is something else that we're going to do that's not here yet, but I'm going to show you how to do it. The sum of R6 through R20. Do more if you need to. Okay. I'm going to input these numbers really quick. So S3, which is right over here, and this is going to be the third column down. What I put here is I put carryover from last month. So I don't want to go back and look and see how much I have left to spend every single month. So at the end of the month, let's say at the end of December 31st, if I had, let's say, $280 left that I did not invest, I would put that number in right here. So I'm just going to put 280. And what that's going to do is it's going to add it to my investment left to spend. Format it as currency if you like. It doesn't matter too much, but I like to keep everything kind of nice and straight. That lets you know that like that money from last month is still there as an investment. So just because you sold this month doesn't mean the stuff that you sold last month, if you never spent that investment, shouldn't be used. You should be using it. Now, I know I talked to you about, let's do one more thing here real quick. The reason why we put in the sum of R6 and R20 right here, where R6 is, where it starts, you see 6 and R, this is going to be right above it. We're going to put investment spent. So right here, we're going to subtract anything that we buy. So let's say I bought a wholesale pallet at $200. I'm going to put minus 200 and put that in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to put I'm going to put in 200 because I spent 200 on the pallet, and it's going to take that number off the investment left to spend. Same thing as before, format as currency. And I'll put something like next to it, like I'll put wholesale pallet. And it'll let me know that I spent $200 on that wholesale pallet. You can put a date next to it. You can put more information next to it if you want to. You put, it was cosmetics, it was shirts, it was toys, whatever it is. Just kind of help you keep track of it. But it'll subtract it from here and let you know that you only have 131 left to spend. Now, I did say I was going to show you how to add a percentage of your profits into this number right here. So that way you're growing. So let's go ahead and get into that. So we can do this two different ways. Okay. The first way we could do is we can just have it tied right into our profit and just have it tied right into the investment. So you can say plus, and then we're going to cap this off, M3, which M3 is our total profit, times, and then you can do whatever percentage you want. You could say 0.25, which is you're taking 25% of your profit. You could say 0.10, you're taking 10% of your profit. You have to do point at this part. You can't do 1, because if you do, then you're investing the whole dang thing. So you have to do point. I'm going to say 10%, just small number, and we're going to cap that off. That's going to take 10% of our total profit and add it to our investment left to spend. Now, if you want to know what that number is, if you're curious as to what you're spending, or what you're pulling out of your total profit, you can just make a little extra column right here and just call it growth. And it can just very simply equal the same thing, the M3, which is the total profit, times 0.10. Right there, it'll tell you that it's $7.12. So you pulled 10% of your profit, $7.12, and put it into your investment. If you also want to, you can calculate it to where your profit, you can like make a column right here that says total profit after reinvestment. And that could be, since you have this little growth number right here, you could just say equals, and then this is the profit right here. So it's going to be M3 minus, and then right here, it's going to be P6, I think we're on. Yeah. And then that would tell you right now that because you're taking your total profit and you're pulling 10% out of it, which is this number right here, your actual total profit after reinvesting is only $64.10. This will help you kind of keep track of, you don't want to overinvest and you don't want to be paying yourself nothing in case this is your full-time business, or this is a business that you want to be profiting and taking some money for yourself off of. So I really hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, or message me. I'll put my email and the link in the description down below. Subscribe. I will be making more videos about reselling and about selling online. I know things are tough right now with everybody. A lot of people are converting into online sales because the online sale market is really exploding right now. So I really hope this helps you all grow your business. And thanks for watching.